Hello, my name is Portia, and welcome to the 10-minute documentation review. This is where I look at the Getting Started guide, the Hello World, the Quick Start guide, and quite frankly, I judge it. The reason why I do this is because the Quick Start is where the user will judge, hey, should I continue with the documentation or should I move on somewhere else? So it's really important to get this right. Um, I look at three different things. I look at it as purposeful. Does it solve the problem that it says it's going to solve? Who is the intended audience? UX experience. How good was the experience? Did it give me joy? And finally, accurate. Are the instructions correct? So today, we are going to review Markdoc. I am pretty excited about this. Markdoc is Stripe's documentation platform that they open sourced, and I've never built anything with it. So I usually use Docusaurus, but I do have some friends who use Markdoc, whose documentation is based off of Markdoc, and it is beautiful. It's definitely like design first. So without further ado, I'm going to actually put the clock on for 10 minutes and let's review the documentation. All right, timer's on 10. All right, so let's read this. Markdoc is powerful, flexible, Markdoc-based authoring framework. Ooh, I like authoring framework. From personal blogs to massive documentation sites, Markdoc is a content authoring system that grows with you. Little bit skeptic because it's one of those things where it's like, we're for everyone. And I do like products to take a stand on exactly who they're for. All right. Oh, you try it out here. Oh, that's pretty darn cool. So, this is, I love interactive present. I love interactive apps. Okay. Here's a developer sandbox. Let's actually click there and see what happens. Oh, it becomes bigger. This is React. Oh, so this must be MDX, renderable tree. Oh, wow. And AST. So you can see what does it, you can actually see the tree of it. Um, as a developer, I'm impressed, but as someone who creates content, I'm not sure what this does for me. Format slightly changing. I'm not sure how. Okay, let's continue. So open source, developer and writer friendly. I'll be the judge of that. Authoring experience, adopt everywhere, get started quickly. Okay, here we go. Oh, they have a Next.js plugin. So this is explore documentation. That's where we're going. So let's explore the documentation. All right, so this is the get started over here. Let's go to what is Markdown. Maybe it'll give us a clear explanation. So content publishing, okay. Uh, product documentation. All right, I don't love that this is so broad. It's not a full-blown templating language. So I'm looking at how Markdoc works. Tags, no documentation, data structure. If I just had a blog, I don't think I'd want to know all about this. Like, I don't think I'd want to know about the tree structure, the tree of renderable. If I had a blog, I wouldn't care about this. Oh my God. How many times does render appear in this paragraph? An HTML string renderer, a static React renderer. Oh my God. That's what I was looking at, was a transpiler in their example. I don't think transpiler ever belongs in the getting started section. Why add mark up to mark down? This is important. We chose a starting point is easy to read and reason about, already familiar to engineers and technical writers. Engineers and technical writers, not just someone who's writing a blog. And wireless part large ecosystem. Under the hood. Yes, the abstract syntax tree. I remember working with that 2 years ago, but once again, for content, rare tokens markdown. IT, custom tag syntax. Oh, so it already has its syntax. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's install this and see what we get. Wow, that was written for a developer. So you say, yes, this is for the extremely nerdy. Code, let's install this. Transpiler. This is the first that I've seen a CMS system that talks about transpiling and shows you it too, and shows you the tree. Alrighty. So I've installed it. Import the Markdoc into your app into your library. Oh, do I need to come off a library? So I installed Markdoc. Let me see what I have here. Let's go with npm install. Okay. I probably shouldn't have done that. How do I get this up and running? Import the Markdoc library into your app. Oh, do I need to have a React application up and running? Does it not give me an example beyond the one in the front page? Oh, that's a womp womp. Let's go with FAQ. I don't even know what common mark specification is. I just want to create content. I don't want to pretend to be an engineer. Syntactic extensions. I wonder what the reading level is of their documentation. Oh my goodness. I'm not smart enough for all of this. Oh, it gets better. SE text heading? What in the heck? SE text heading. I'm sorry. I have a mission, which is to install this. I just want to know if I would find some more information in. Oh, wow. This is not even MDX. Markdoc is MDX like. Why? All right, I'm going to read this. Like Markdoc. Okay, so I can use React. The key difference is MDX supports, oh my God, and you're not a complex, arbitrarily complex JavaScript logic. Think of, dude, you're showing me a freaking tree. You're using transpiling in your documentation, and you say MDX is arbitrarily complex. Talk about the pot calling the pan calling the pot black. Oh my goodness. This reeks of not built here syndrome. But the cost of complex content can quickly become complex. Like this is not, the fact that you're new is already an added layer of complexity. Did they have just content people read this over? Like, did they have a technical writer who writes first and codes second? Oh my God. Oh, this is so not built here. All right. I'm not impressed. And it looks like I actually need to go into integration guide to see how I can get this up and running. So this is examples. Let me move. I have to move the circle. Using with HTML. So this means I'll have to have Express installed. I haven't used Express in years. Next.js. Oh, does this come with, this might actually come out of the box. Let me see React. This might actually use create React. Yes, it does. It does. Okay. Um, let's see. Is it so either so here's where I'm at. I don't want to go to another page. If I do create React, which I would have to do, but with Next.js, I can just use the instructions here, which I'm actually going to do. I've used Next before. Well, that explains a lot. So, do I need to do an uninstall? npm, I think it's uninstall. You know what? I know I shouldn't do this. All right, we're going to try this again. Shows you where I'm at in terms of programming. All right, npm install Markdoc Next.js. Just give me something that I can use locally. All right, cool. Let's see what the other instructions are. Oh, that's it. Time's up. Time is up. Okay. So it looks like, oh, I didn't read the instructions. This is like what a real this is like what a real person does when they're looking through their documentation. They skim through it. So I had to have Next.js installed. I'm going to say this was a big letdown. I was expecting great things from Markdoc, but I wish they would just have one line. And Markdoc is not the only framework that does this, or docs. I wish they would have just one line where I could just install Create React or install Next.js. Don't make me search. Don't make me go on another page for that code. It's literally one line. And why Markdoc? You literally get into transpiler. You show me, give me a moment. This shows me a freaking transpiler. And it tells me that MDX is too complex. All right, I think you know where I'm at going with this. So Markdoc. Let's go with purposeful. If we're going to purposeful, let's go to the first page. Does quick start explain the problem that's trying to solve and who's the intended audience? I'm going to say that it talked about the competition. So, to give it a benefit of doubt, the problem it's solving is it doesn't think MDX is sufficient because it's too complex and too arbitrary. I forgot what it said for ASCII. So it's solving for the deficiencies of MDX and ASCII. Too close to the metal and too down in the weeds. Who's the intended audience? Someone with a personal blog is not going to want to do this. I mean, oh my goodness. I'm going to give this a 1. I'm giving this a 1 for lack of self-awareness. If you are going to get into the weeds of your syntax, then you're not for someone who's making just a personal blog, unless that person's an engineer who wants to learn more about like transpiling and wants to know more about, or who's really curious about the syntax and templating language that that runs this. Well, it's not a templating language, but the templating, I should say. 1, it's not self-aware. UX experience, how seamless is it? The lack of awareness of I just want to get this up and running locally takes off points. It was frustrating that it just wouldn't give me a line of, and this is not the only framework that's done this. Just give me the line that helps me install Create React app. Just give me the line of code that will help me install Next.js. Do not make me go hunting in Next.js. It's probably just one line. Why can't that happen for us? Um, does this elicit a sense of joy and achievement? No. I'm actually going to give this a 1.5. And accuracy. Are the instructions correct? Are they complete? I'm going to say for getting started, it's not complete if I need to go, once again, if I don't have the instructions to get up and running without going to a bunch of pages. So I didn't see any inaccuracies. I'm actually going to give this a 2. This is an interesting problem that I'm seeing in a lot of the docs that I'm reviewing. It seems like having an iframe, well, I don't know if this is an iframe or not, but having an interactive editor in the browser is almost, it's almost like an either or situation. It makes up for the fact that it has a poor local experience. Poor meaning it's leaning on this as a crutch in terms of like me just getting the instructions and running this locally. And it's not just Markdoc that does this. This is used as a crutch. And I noticed if I look at the Next.js, I can just deploy on Netlify or deploy on Vercel, and I'll probably have an app up and running. But I'm starting to think these one button solutions are covering up a poorer experience when you want to just get this done local, when you want to get this up and running locally. I've been speaking a lot, so I'm going to end here. But I'm not going to end here. I have to say I'm disappointed. I did expect a better experience. I did expect to be wowed by Markdoc, but instead I was extremely underwhelmed, and I was given a lot of spec that I didn't ask for. So that's my review. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.